probably heard of Chris Smalls. He first gained notoriety as the co-founder and former president of the Amazon Labor Union, an effort to force Amazon to allow unionization. But more recently, he was on the latest Freedom Flotilla, attempting to bring life-saving supplies to Gaza by boat. I got to speak with him earlier today. Here's our chat. Hey, Chris, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me.
You were on this latest Freedom Flotilla to Gaza, and I was wondering if you could just tell us about the experience. The last one, the one before yours, had Greta Thunberg on it, among many others, and they were arrested and held for several days. The one before that was bombed by Israeli drones that easily could have killed someone. The one before that, several years ago, was boarded by the IDF, and they proceeded to murder 9 of the people on board of the boat. So what you did, it's incredibly courageous, and yeah, if you could just tell us about the experience.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it was a no-brainer decision for me, and like many others, I was inspired by the Mad Lean with Greta, so I reached out, and I was fortunate enough to make contact with one of the co-founders, Huwaida Hara, who not only survived some of those missions you're talking about, but she's it was her ninth voyage, so to speak, trying to break the illegal seas. So she definitely motivated me to go. And not only that, I had to make the decision in like 24 hours. So
Really?
um, it was uh, it was one of those moments where I had to think about, telling my family, but not only that, I knew I wanted to apply pressure for representing labor and also as an American taxpaying citizen. It was really necessary that we spread awareness to people who are not paying attention.
So several days on the water, you were approaching Gazan waters, but you weren't even there yet, right? You were still in international waters. And what happened then?
Yeah, I mean, we were you could say the Mediterranean, they have no jurisdiction over there in international waters. But yeah,
Yeah.
we were less than 60 miles away. So really we were in Palestinian territory, as you mentioned, and they intercepted us, even though they knew that we were actually trying to set, um, we were trying to stay in Egypt for the night. We set our destination to try to dock there for the night. So they knew on the public channel that we were going to Egypt, which was about 26 miles away. And they still came to intercept us anyway.
Yeah, so how did that end up working? They violently took you guys under arrest, correct?
Well, the first thing they do is they onboard the boat, then they pull the cameras down, they cut the communications down from the rest of the world. They only come when the sun sets, so they come in the middle of the night. And us, for example, they came in around 11 p.m. Compared to the Madeleine, which is about 3 in the morning. And then after that, that's when we after being captive, we have to shelter in place pretty much for the night. And we rode 12 hours to the port of Rashad in Israel, which is about 12 hours away. And that's when we're transferred over to the authorities there, the immigration department.
And during that 12 hours, were you handcuffed? Were they feeding you?
Well, that's the thing. They knew we was on a hunger strike, so they couldn't do that propaganda. So yeah, they came on board with their commandos, but they also came on board with a camera crew and coolers full of sandwiches and water. But we didn't take any of that, so that killed their propaganda with that. At the
Hmm.
port of Rashad in the morning, the immigration authorities, they also had a camera crew. So every moment they were trying to film us, even when we got to prison, they would come in the cells with cameras trying to film anything they can use against us. And
Hmm.
ironically, they haven't released any photos of anything. Unlike what they did with Greta and Madeline, there was a lot of photos online circulating about how they were taking care of the volunteers with sandwiches and water, but they couldn't do that with us. Not only because of that, the hunger strike, but also because of the assault that took place on me as well.
Yeah, can you talk a little about that?
Right. I mean, when we were transferred over to the authorities in the morning, uh, I saw that the camera crew was in our faces, and I put my hands over my face, not consenting to the photos. And that's when they called over 7 authorities to throw me to the ground. And then they put their knee in my back. They twisted both my arms behind my back. They choked me with my chains around my neck. And then they separated me from the rest of the crew in a separate room, threw me up against the wall face first, while saying some racist remarks, saying that they are nothing like me, nothing like my brothers. And the entire time they was guarding me with 5 guards in the room.
Wow. And they didn't want photos of like after that because of the physical marks they left?
Well, yeah, so the physical marks wasn't really from the abuse. It was really from the scabies that I caught in prison. And when I was talking to my lawyer, I had the opportunity to talk to my lawyer. She was able to look at the marks around my neck right then on the spot, even though the guards were right behind me. She did take a note of that. And yeah, we're trying to hopefully take some type of legal action.